The way I'm getting this house done is by refusing to not miss a day of doing something every day. Now, admittedly, I think a work crew and a schedule and that would get a house done faster. However, I am free building this, which means I take advantage of the materials that I can find at when available. So I'm changing my schedules around a little bit. If somebody stands me up like they did on the foundation, Home Depot never did deliver. I waited 31 days, calling them, oh my gosh, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. I went in and stopped in there and asked them where my order was, and they said it was in the back, and they were filling it then, talking to the service counter. And never showed up that day. And finally they called me and said, well, I placed the order at the wrong Home Depot. I could never do it. Anyway, not to rehash old things. I'm saying that to build your own house without a crew, you got to be flexible. And especially I'm trying to build a house that'll last 1,000 years. And not everything that I envision can I find, 1,000-year doorknobs, and I'm trying not to have any particle board whatsoever, but I am in a modern world, and I do have modern materials that I have to deal with. But this one modern material, this InfraStop, and I bought it directly from the vendor. I went into Home Depot, and I found 2 old, small things of this covered in dust. Nobody had bought it. I have no idea why. But I'm telling you, it's a 20 to 40 degree reduction of heat inside. If you've got container rain, which is condensation on the inside walls, what you need to do is slow down the rate of evaporation. This stuff inside will do that. And it is bubble wrapped between 2 foils. Now, I think the foil is actually an real aluminum foil, but it might be a plastic. InfraStop, I'll put a link down below on it. But even though it's bubble wrap, working with this is a little bit of energy. It doesn't pull easy. It pulls like 2 pieces of aluminum foil sandwiched between bubble wrap, which means a small job of pulling it is kind of a labor-intensive job. It's not real hard, but it's not real easy. Every pole, it's trying to metallically wrap around the post it's on or whatever. So, but it's late in the evening, and it was hot this weekend, so I'm going to use the last few hours of light that I have tonight to try to get the roof done, and then I'll have all the insulation done, this insulation done. Then I need to do the electric. Then I need to do the bracing across the rafters for my ceiling fans and ceiling lights, as well as my ceiling insulation, and get it all ready for drywall, right? I want nails probably no more than 16 inches apart, and less than that if I can. I want to keep the drywall up there. Today I found somebody that did marbleized paint, which is the paint I'm going to use inside of here. So that's fun. Looking forward to that. But tonight's project as the sun sets will be to get the last bit of this InfraStop up there. And like I say, I bought it direct from the vendor, and it came with aluminum sticky foil. This stuff will last 1,000 years. I honestly believe it will. But let me pull it in as the daylight recedes. And it was 117 in here earlier. So now let me try to do that without 117. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and see if the light will change a little bit for me if I zoom in. Well, we'll see, right? I think I'm going to split the difference between the joists, and I'm going to put half of the bubble wrap in one side and a half in the other. Now I'm reusing what blew off the top of the conics, which worked for a season. If I would have had a tarp that would have held it, a genuine canvas, real live tarp, there we go. That might work. Let's try that. And I think that would have been perfect. All right, I might speed walk through this part. I might leave it play out. It all depends. So I have these 2 pieces. which were torn off during a hurricane. And I don't know if I want to mess with this because I have so much left over, but perhaps. So literally these pieces I'm going to put up all came from, they were on the top, over the on the outside of this Connex. It worked there, but I had a Harbor Freight tarp, and there's an episode on it. If I can find it, I'll put it down in the link. And the Harbor Freight tarp only lasted about 30 days in the Texas sun and just fell apart. You would need a military-grade canvas tarp, and then this idea would work. In addition, if you're doing window dormers like me, the tarp would come down and you could shield those while you're building, which would help with the water, and you would have less chance of leakage. But so this stuff's super tough, right? I mean, torn off via hurricane and thrown all over. I went and gathered it up. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to repurpose it. It's just, you know, reflective foil and bubble wrap. I mean, it's not broken. It just was torn off. So, but anyway, I'm going to put that back up. Okay, in the video, you can see I'm just over one joist, right? Rafter. That is not going to pull anymore. I can't pull it anymore. I have to go, you know, from rafter to rafter. This is where it would be easier to be a two-man operation because somebody would be, you know, feeding you the stuff because I could pull it, but it'll just tear. So it's got a feedback energy to it. It's not nothing. When you think of bubble wrap, you think of nothing because you throw it away all the time. But I'm telling you, this is not nothing. It's not, you know, drywall heavy or, you know, dimensionally tough. It's just got an energy that's surprising. And so a two-person job would be easier for this, that you could feed it in. But it's not impossible as a one-person job. So here I'm going, right? Let me move you in since it's getting darker and it's harder for the camera to focus. This part to do, and then the end here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do because I'm going to frame the door. So the door will help seal some of this. But in the meantime, I'll get magnets and I'll click it up. Personally, I went and made the sides a little higher. And then the roof is underneath it, so the roof will help support the sides. I guess you could have gone the other way. But I'm thinking that this will make a little better for if there needs to be any breathing in there. I think that that'll be a little better method. I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's just a preference that I did. There's a lot of things like that. We say there's a right and wrong, and there are some things are, but there's a lot of things we say to do this way or that way. And it's just the way it's always been done. Nobody's challenged it. I mean, so let me zoom in, do the other side. All right, let's take a look together in the fading light. So I haven't run the aluminum tape yet across it, so I got a few ends hanging down. Have a few gaps maybe I'll close up or overlap. You know, that was the hurricane damage. I don't care, it's 2 layers deep. Same thing there, 2 layers deep. Goes all the way to the edges, but not taped. And then this is the last spot here, because there'll be a door there, right? And then this door I will do with these. These are exterior French doors, but then when I insert that, I'm gonna wrap these steel doors as if they're Spanish Mission style. And then I'll do this little last bit of insulation. But in the meanwhile, I'll put up magnets to hold everything up so it has a body. In fact, I like these magnets. I should buy some more of those. They're on-offy, what magnets? So, you know, you want it off, it's off. You know, you want it on, and those things have 150 pounds of force, so you just don't pull those off. I'm not going to pull that off. All right, but I'm happy. I am happy. I've got insulation all the way through. Let me do something here where this stuff stays up.